All right. Good evening. Good evening. I'm happy to know that we have some of us live right now. I can see Alexis from our Sabah. I can also see Ezine Zenwa. I can see Irene Adetimirin. I can also see Adamu watching from Abuja. Yes, to congratulate every one of us for being here today. This is the special day that we've all been waiting for, and I'm so excited that we are here. So in a few minutes time, you will be seeing the faces of our wonderful facilitators. We have Dr. Morodion Okuongae. He's here already backstage. We're expecting Kudirat. I know everyone wants to see my face right now. Just let us know where you're watching from. Just let us know where you're watching us from. Yep. Let us know where you are watching from. Okay. Thank you. Dr. Tun Oyelude says she's watching from Ibadan. Debbie Wood says she's from watching from Lagos. Awal is watching from Maiduguri. And we have Etse Eunice from Lagos. And we also have Jesse Chika that's watching or participating from Asaba. So having said this, I feel that we have people joining from Facebook, people joining from YouTube. We're really excited to have you here with us. So right about now, I think it's time for me to show my face. Should I say my beautiful face right now? I don't even know what to say. Okay. Good to be here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today. I don't know about you. I am super, super, super excited to be your host this evening. This is day one of the 3 days academic workshop on responsible use of AI and digital tools for quality research. Okay, so I'm so excited to be your host today. My name is Sylvester, and I'm the Digital Librarian. And in collaboration with my friends, senior colleagues, we are putting up this program today to impart researchers positively. So pardon me, give me a moment. I think I need to stop this music right now so that we get down to business. So now we're down to business. Let me see if I can highlight a few other persons. Give a shout out to Shegun Abimbola Ekundayo, watching from Kaduna. We're excited to have you. Thank you so much. We have Adebayo Oyerunke from Covenant University all the way. Thank you for joining us. And I see my friend here, Ivie Osawaru from Benin City, watching, participating. And may I introduce to us Christabel? She's behind the stage. She's going to be doing some moderation. And if you have any difficulty participating, just put it in the comment section. She will attend to these issues. We also have Dr. Patricia from Asaba. We have Osonwa Emanuela from Lagos. We have one of our facilitators, Lua Testing is here. The list keeps going on. I'm seeing Dr. Ikolo. She says, good evening, Sylvester, and everyone watching from Warri. All right, we'll spend the first 5 minutes doing introduction and saying welcome. So I just wanted to know that we have our facilitators backstage right now. Everybody's ready. We can't wait for this. So once again, I want to remind you the purpose why we are here. Now, the purpose why we are here is actually to take some frequently asked questions, frequently asked research questions, questions that researchers ask. because we did a survey, and from what we collected, those of you participating in this workshop today, majority are researchers, majority of you are students, majority you are PhD holders. And I want to do a disclaimer today. Please, I understand there are very learned colleagues here. Please, I would want to advise, one of the best ways that we can learn today is to come empty. Just come empty. Come empty. So this is the best advice I can give today. Come empty into this class, and you would draw maximum value. Okay, we have resource persons who are going to be emptying themselves and sharing their wealth of knowledge with us. So even me as moderator for this event, I'm emptying myself and I'm open to learning. So even though once in a while, especially from tomorrow, I'm going to be sharing some secret tools with you, AI tools that can improve your research work. I'm going to be doing that in between the training. So this is just to explain to us. So in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to explain to us again how this workshop will go. So today is day one, and I've just told us what we are doing in day one. We have 2 librarians on duty. You know, librarians are people you find who tend to your information needs. So regardless of what discipline you are studying right now, librarians are there to provide the information you seek. We don't know everything actually, but we know something about everything because we sure know how to find anything. And so that's why day one, we are going to be answering questions that you have research wise. Then day two starts tomorrow. Day 2 is on Friday. So day 2, we are going to be having Mr. Oluwatosin Akobe is going to be treating day 2, where we are going to be talking about, he's going to be practically demonstrating the use of AI tools and how to use it ethically, how to use it from the beginning of a research process to the end, how you can actually leverage AI ethically, doing a research work, streamlining the research process. Akobe Tosin will be doing that tomorrow, so please do your best to not miss that out. Then on day 3, which is the grand finale, I know that day many of us are looking forward to. That day, Pupuola Biliamin will be explaining to us what we need to do to give visibility to our research outputs, what we need to do to, and how we need to find open access, high impact journals, how we need to go about the publishing process. He's not going to just do that. He's going to introduce us to several AI tools that we can use to also streamline our research work. Okay, so I just can't wait for that session. I'm really open to learning so much in this workshop. I know some of us were hoping that Sylvester will do a lot today, but in these 3 days, my goodness, I'm open to learning so much, so much. I've gotten the best guys around Nigeria to teach us AI tools responsibly for quality research. So having given us an overview of what we are to expect in this training, I want to let us know there are some persons here who may not have completed their registration. So I think I'll leave that for now, and I'll share with us later what benefit you stand to gain by registering. So, ladies and gentlemen, please pardon me. I would like to introduce quickly Dr. Morodion Okuongai. He's here backstage with us right now. So, John, you're welcome. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening, Sylvester. How are you doing?
Hello, good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, Sylvester. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me.
Okay. Okay. I think the network was breaking for a second.
Okay. Please
So
confirm you
now
can hear
that
me.
Omor- yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now, but it was breaking for a moment. Yeah, but now that you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to you Dr. Omorodion. Dr. Omorodion is a Wikimedian, a researcher, he's a librarian, and an LIS educator. He has over 10 years of professional experience across various institutions with he has managed e-library activities at institutions like the Glorious Vision University and a few others. Moro Jones' extensive research portfolio includes over 40 scholarly works and earning him awards at local, national, and international levels, including the 2022 Most Published Librarian in Edo State. He is an advocate.
Oh. So I sorry, I think Sylvester network went off. So we'll just give him some time to come back into the call.
Okay, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You're welcome back.
Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. You're welcome back.
I'm sorry. That was a yeah. Thank you. So sorry. That was I just switched to my network. We understand the internet challenge nowadays. So that was to introduce Dr. Moradion. Like I said, he's someone I know very closely, and we are happy to have Dr. Moradion here today. So very quickly, I'm going to invite Dr. Kudirat. Dr. Kudirat, good evening. Your mic is mute. Good evening and welcome. Hello, good evening, Dr. Kudirat.
Good evening, everyone. My program coordinator, good evening. Thank you for having me on board.
Yes, you're
Can
welcome,
you
ma.
hear me? Hope you're
Yes, we can
hearing
hear
me.
you, ma. How are you this evening, ma?
Good.
Yes, ma.
Fine,
How are you
thank you.
today, ma?
Doing fine. Great.
Okay. Yes, we're happy to have you here today. So,
Thank you for
Dr.
having me.
Kudirat is here, and Dr. Kudirat is one scholar that I respect so much. She is a certified librarian of Nigeria, and she holds a PhD in Library and Information Technology from the Federal University of Technology, Mina, with a master's and bachelor's degrees from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and also a postmaster's professional Development certificate from the University of Pretoria, South Africa. Her expertise spans ICT, library administration, automation, digitization, data management, digital marketing, and so much more. And she's got 14 years in the ICT division of Abdullahi Fodio Library Complex and leadership roles. She's now lecturing at Usmano Danfodio University, Sokoto, and she's doing a whole lot of great work over there. It's a great honor to have her as one of our facilitators this evening. Dr. Adegoke, we are happy to have you despite your tight schedule.
Thank you.
We are glad that you are here with us. Good evening, Ma.
Thank you very Good evening, all. Thank you very much for having me.
Uh, All right. So thank you so much. So having established this protocol and recognizing those who are watching us live, we'll spend the previous 15 minutes to do an introduction. We've also done an overview about what to expect in the coming days of this program. So it's now time for us to go to the purpose for why we are here. You are librarians, and there are frequently asked research questions that people ask. People want to learn, they want to know some things that, some issues that they cannot actually find their way around when it comes to research. And one of those questions, especially as it relates to this event today, is about quality research. So the question is, what is a quality research? We're going right into the question of the conversation now. What defines quality research, and how do we meet those standards in our work, in the work that we do? So, Dr. Adegoke, I don't know if you can help us answer this. What do you think defines a quality research? When they say this research is a quality research, we're not talking about quantitative or quantity research right now. We're talking about quality research. What do you understand by that, and how do we meet those standards in our work?
Yeah, thank you very much, the coordinator, and then I'm really happy and glad to be part of today's program. And I want to let you know that a lot of people that are watching us live today, they are into research in one way or the other. We are all doing research. We it may not be maybe knowingly or unknowingly. We have been looking for one thing or the other. This happen. Try to question some things around us and to know and get meanings to those things. For example, we're talking about having high impact research or quality research. What do we mean by the word the quality research? Quality going by the definition of research, you find out that we understand that when you say you are researching, meaning that someone already somewhere have already carried out a study, and then maybe there were gaps that person were unable, maybe due to some limitations, that person could not be able to do thorough justice to the research that they conducted. So therefore, leaving some gaps unfilled, and then leaving it for other researchers that will be working in that area. So now you coming on board, try to research upon what somebody have already tried to find out and establish some findings. You now try to come up with your own idea or preferred solution to that existing problem that you find within that your society. And in what way, how do you go about this? First thing, you must be able to know that you are carrying out a research in order to solve a societal problem, not that you are just carrying a research for just research for carrying out sake. So that's why you must establish that in your mind. Then you now try to set a kind of goal for yourself. I want to conduct a research, and this is what I am trying to do, at least solving a particular problem. And how do I go about this? So you begin to think. Now you come up with your whole research design that, okay, let's say, for example, I want to build a big house. How do I go about building that big house? You get architectural design. that design is what is your research design. And then when you have that one and you got it right, then you begin to look at what research methodology do I go about. Now, in order not to jump this the question that you asked, first thing, strong research design that I have said earlier is part of it. Appropriate research methodology to ensure that that research you are carrying out, you either conduct it, maybe using survey, experiment, or try to find out, design some questions to guide that particular research. Then rigorous data collection. You must put all this together before you can have high impact research. That is a qualitative research. Then that your data analysis should be appropriate for data type and the question that we are going to be using. Then originality of your work must be ascertained, because you must be able to address a novel question or offer a fresh perspective that will definitely the potential to influence policy, practice, or future research direction. Then that's your work, that research you are trying to carry out. You must be able to ensure that the research you are carrying out, the result you are giving us is reliable, and the instrument you have used is also reliable, and validity of that research is ascertained. Then objectivity, that means research that you are carrying out, you must not be biased, and then present findings must be accurate. Then you must ensure that you use ethic, that is ethical conduct of that research must be ascertained. Then informed consent of those people who are going to participate in your research. You must be able to protect their confidentiality, because there are some research that it involves, maybe is something that is a life-threatening one, that if they disclose information out, it may be as if they are divulging very vital information to you. So you must make the findings anonymous, and you must even tell them what we are going to do with the findings of that result. Then clear communication
Yeah.
of that research finding must be part of it. Citation, every single thing you use in that work must be duly and properly cited. Reference must be made, and then you must give, respect to the intellectual owners of the work that you are using. So if you are able to come up with all this and put them together, whatever research that is coming out based on this guideline, it's going to be a qualitative one. And then any journal you send it to will definitely receive it and publish it on your behalf. But men, remember, any research you are conducting, if it is for publication, every journal has their own author's guide that you must strictly
Yeah.
adhere to, and then you must follow before you can publish in their journals. Thank you very much for that.
Exactly. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you. I think I tried to highlight some of the key points that you have revealed from your response on what quality research is here. And just like we usually do, at the end of this workshop, we are going to make notes of all that we have discussed here today. So we are going to have this list of these answers, and then we are going to share it with everyone so that you know what a quality research really means, and you have a checklist of what you must do to make your research a quality one. So, Dr. Kudira, thank you so much for that response. However, please pardon me to ask Dr. Moradion to just make a little addition. Let's get from your own opinion what you think makes a quality research, especially looking at the different types of research. We have qualitative, we have quantitative. So, what really makes a quality research, sir?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sylvester. Dr. Adekoke actually did justice to that question. She gave a very robust answer to that question. And my own contribution will just be in addition to what she has said. Basically, when we talk about quality research, the first question that comes to mind is, what exactly is research? Because we have to understand what research is to be able to now ask ourselves what constitutes quality research. And given that a generally acceptable definition of research being that research is a systematic or scientific investigation or inquiry into a phenomenon in order to solve problem or to close a gap. So with that understanding that research is a systematic process, then you must have at the back of your mind that it is something that you don't just jump into it. There is a procedure for carrying it out. So like Dr. Adekoke highlighted, there is a clear methodology for conducting a research. So you have to have understanding of what the methodologies are. So depending on the kind of research you are conducting, you have to have understanding of the kind of research design to be adopted, and also what kind of instrument you'll be using to collect your data. What are your target groups? So how did you conduct these questions? How did you collect the data? Did you follow the ethical practices, the ethical considerations, which includes informed consent, voluntariness, and the confidentiality amongst others? So those are some of the things you look at when you want to weigh into or assess a particular research. So it's important for us to know that research is not just about the outcome. It's more also of the process. So you have to understand the process, follow the process that leads to the outcome. So it is when one has gone through the process, follow it step by step, that will not be able to say, okay, this research is a quality research and we can actually accept the findings. So with a quality research is that research, if I were to define it, is a research that has passed through the right procedure, following the right ethical processes, and have achieved a result. So because we understand that research itself is systematic, there are defined procedures to be followed for all the processes. So I will just stop at that because Dr. Adekoke has highlighted some of those procedures of research in our explanation. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to be introduced. I'd like to let us know that we have a special guest. This person is a surprise guest that we have right here with us today. And she's someone I respect so much, despite her schedule and everything. She has made time to be here today. So she's going to be joining us. Her face is not in the flyer because she's a surprise guest. And she's going to be helping us do a lot in this workshop. You remember I told you it's a 3-day workshop. At the end of this workshop, we are going to be having groups. We're going to be pairing ourselves into groups, and we're going to be having facilitators as mentors to ensure that we come out with some research outputs with guidance from these facilitators. I know also that for people who are not researchers, what we are saying now may be boring, but please take note, this is specifically an academic workshop. So you may not be hearing some of those exciting things you want to hear. This is for scholars. And I would like to invite Dr. Esther Gani. She's here right now. And I want to say welcome, ma. Good evening, Dr. Esther. Dr. Esther, good evening. Your mic is mute, ma.
Oh, okay. Good day, our viewers. Good day, the coordinator. Dr. Antosin, I hope you are doing well. It's an interesting section. Yeah.
You're welcome, ma. So very quickly, I would just like to let everyone know that Dr. Esther Gani joined CASU as a system librarian in 2006. She has risen to the position of HOD Community Service Department at CASU Library, and she has served in several university and library communities as head or as a member. She received her BALS Sociology from BUK, MLS from ABU, and PhD from ICT University in the United States of America. She also has some other additional certificates, and she has presented over 20 academic papers in local and international conferences, including seminars. She's also published 15 journals and instructed in over 50 trainings. I want to believe that this training now is making it the 51st training. And our primary research focuses on health informatics, the application of IT in research, open data, conceptual development, and higher education studies. We are excited to have her today as a special guest here in this program. She will be coming in between the programs to share insights on research for us. She loves reading, and she's also a member of different professional bodies, including the member sickle cell, IT, MNLA, Nigeria Library Association, and so many others. So once again, I want to say special welcome to you, Dr. Esther Gani. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. So, yes. So I would like to go back to Dr. Kudirat. It's very important. We would like to know, ma, can you enlighten us on what AI in research writing is all about? So when we say AI in research writing, what do you think it's all about, please? We would like to know that, Dr. Kudirat. Your mic is mute, ma'am. Dr. Your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Your mic. Good. Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, very good. When we are talking about AI, we are talking about artificial intelligence. What do I mean by artificial intelligence? These artificial intelligence these are machines that are being trained to behave like human beings, to reason like human being, to provide solution to some issues like the way human being does. How do we incorporate or adopt or make sure that we try to work with AI? When you look at fourth industrial revolution, that one was actually competing like Internet of Things and others. They were actually competing with human being, that you human being get away, I will take over from you. But this artificial intelligence that we're talking about, they have come to assist human beings in getting things done easier, smarter, and in a versatile way. For those who will be attending tomorrow's training workshop and next tomorrow, Dr. Meridian, Dr. what's her name is the other guy, Popola, and then Tosin. Tosin. These people are our artificial intelligence gurus, the three of them, and they will be dealing a lot with them. But now, briefly, let me just give you a kind of aspect into that. Artificial intelligence these days, it has come to stay with us. Whether we like it or not, even some journals have recognized the impact of using artificial intelligence in conducting research. What we are after is just teaching our people how to use them ethically. Okay, when you look about information literacy, we are bringing about information literacy now, that your ability to be able to identify that you need information, then your ability to be able to know where to find that information, then your ability to be able to retrieve and evaluate that information, then your ability to be able to use the information. Now, lastly, your ability to ethically use that information. This is where we stand. And that is the essence of having this workshop, that artificial intelligence a number of them are there. There are several ways you can use them in research. One, you can use some to identify research topic or refine your research topics. There are some that they will be mentioning. Those ones are there to conduct your literature research for you. They will search for literature.
Literature review.
They will review it for you. And then now there are some that will even give you reference now. They will point to where they have already copied that information for you to go and link, cite them very well, or get more information. So artificial intelligence in research now, they plagiarize other people's network. Then they will now show you where they have copied that information for you to do the right thing. And that is the essence of having this workshop. There is no doubt about it. Artificial intelligence helps us in conducting research, but then it is now left for us to be able to understand and identify the need for us to be able to work with artificial intelligence, improve whatever we get from them, cite them, use them ethically in order not to fall victim of plagiarizing other people's work. Then aside from that,
Exactly.
artificial
Thank you.
intelligence
Thank you
helps
so
us
much.
in
Thank you.
analyzing our data.
Yeah.
So let me leave it for Dr. Moro John to add more flavor to it so that others can learn.
Yes,
Yeah, you
we have
mentioned a lot of them. We have
so many questions here today, and I think I should go still on this question. I would like to hear what Dr. Moradion has to say. But the way I would like to ask the question this time, I think let me just put it on the screen. Let me put it on the screen so that we can see. The question says, can AI or these digital tools that you have exposed us to now, Mark, can they facilitate collaboration amongst researchers? And what other opportunities? I don't know if you can hear me. Omar, can you hear me? Omar, can you hear me? Hello.
It's like we lost his network.
Hello, Dr. Moradon, can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me, Dr. Moradon?
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Steve.
Can you hear me now, please?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Oh, thank you, thank you. I don't know. Switching between networks seems to be breaking. I can hear you now. Okay, thank you. So I was going to ask this question to Omar, please. What other opportunities, please? What other opportunities does AI bring to researchers, please?
Yeah.
What
Thank
other
you,
opportunities
Sylvester.
are there?
Okay. Looking at the question you have here, AI and digital tools offers numerous advantages or opportunities for researchers, especially in this current dispensation, to help enhance the efficiency and make the research process seamless. Because already research is already a complex exercise. So these tools, when leveraged upon, can help make the whole research process easy for researchers. And we know that collaboration is one of the main things that digital tools brings to the table when it comes to employing these tools to in research process. A situation whereby readers, researchers can come together from different locations to conduct a particular study without necessarily being in the same location. And this is made possible by different digital tools. Even the common Google Doc applications allows for collaboration and collaborative work. Then when you talk about AI specifically, AI has um, numerous benefits in the research process if used responsibly. And as Dr. Adekoke highlighted, there are different ways in which we can use AI responsibly such that we don't get ourselves into trouble. Because also, for you to talk about whether or not there is a right way or wrong way of using AI, you have to also understand the limitations of the AI tool you are using. So that's the first thing. You have to understand what limitation does the tool have, because a common thing, a common concern among most AI tools is the ethical concern surrounding them. The fact that some of the data sets used for training some of these AI tools are actually from a particular region, let's say the Western region. Hence, the output can sometimes be biased towards people from the global south, for example. So, but beyond that, there are different ways we can employ these tools to enhance our research process. For example, you can ask these tools, you can command these tools to to get ideas about a research you want to conduct. For example, let's say you want to do a theoretical research and you already have a topic and you're not sure where to start. You can issue a command to any of the large language models like the ChatGPT or Gemini, formerly Google Bard, you can issue a command like,
Yes, yes.
you want, can you know the outline? You want to know, can you give me suggested outline for this topic? So it can give you suggested outlines. So that will just give you an insight of what your research can be. Then also sometimes you can also issue commands to the AI to, for example, most of us from the global south, we are not native English speakers. And sometimes you have to put up a research report that is readable, and that includes having your punctuation marks in the right places. So you can actually issue a command for AI to help you um, um, punctuate accurately a given phrase or a given passage, and that will make your research report more readable and more readable to the audience, especially to the global audience. So there are different there are different
Yeah, yeah.
responsible ways of using AI, creative ways of using it
Eh,
without one entangling himself with other
exactly.
downside. Yeah. Thank you, Sylvester.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I know our participants should be taking notes by now. Take note. I keep emphasizing, if you just joined, today is to give us an understanding, an overview, to answer frequently asked research questions. I did a survey too. I reached out to people. What are those questions you would like answers to get answers to? So what I have done right now is I've compiled a list of these questions, and we are also going to be taking your questions. So if you have questions, please drop them in the comment section for the librarians on duty to take those questions. So Dr. Kudirat will be coming again shortly to explain something to us. Dr. Kudirat, if you are there, please unmute your mic. We want to know something about variables. I don't know
Okay.
if the students are here, but I will tell you, ma, if I tell you this was an issue understanding what variables are. Can you hear me clearly?
Of course, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Can you hear me clearly? Oh,
Yes.
okay. So the problem is
Yes. They want to know
some
what
really
variables
very
are.
strong researchers, they still don't understand exactly when they say independent variable, independent and dependent variable. What does those terms mean? Can we just demystify these terms? If possible, if you have to show us using any demonstration, please, we would like you to treat these questions, and hopefully Dr. Gani will add her voice on this, and once we are done in the next 2-3 minutes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for asking that question. Variables. It can sound confusing at times because many people will say, what is that variable about? Let me tell them that the researchers, if we are talking about variables, we are talking about those things in your title, particularly maybe the number, the keywords, or the index terms, or the important key points that you, for example, I will give an example, because when you have a topic, like some people will say, how many variables am I even supposed to have in my title? Somebody is talking about, I don't have enough variables to test. These things are what you test, and in fact they are the backbone of your research. If you are conducting a research and you do not know what that variable is, then what are you measuring? Because these are the things that you are going to manipulate. These are the things that will change in value to affect other things. For example, we can say majorly we have two variables, that is dependent and independent variable. These independent variables are the ones that changes to affect the dependent one. Let's say there is a title called, let's say, assessment of use of artificial intelligence by postgraduate students of the Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. When you underline that title, assessment of, the first one is use of artificial intelligence. That sounds as your what? independent variable. Whatever happened to that one will definitely affect the last variable, which is your dependent variable. And that is where postgraduate students of Usman Dafodo, are they using research, artificial intelligence ethically? For what purpose are they using it? You are assessing the use of artificial intelligence in conducting research. And then there, when you look at in between, there are some variables that helps you to achieve your manipulation, to achieve your end result, and to achieve your goal. That these ones are the contributing variables that support the real dependent and independent variable. So the first variables you have before the last one, they are the independent variables. And then the last one that you have are the dependent variable. So when you measure all these two together, you'll be able to come up with something that, okay, a change in the way they use artificial intelligence has brought about conducting research ethically. You have achieved something there, because before that research was conducted, they might have been using artificial intelligence in their own way without even making reference. But for the purpose of for the fact that you were able to conduct that research and you identify that the way they use it, and you make them to understand the way you people use this research in artificial intelligence, it is not the proper way of. So you are trying to provide solution to that problem of misuse of artificial intelligence. So in the topic, those variables you have in the first that have effect, lasting effect, or that make the last variable to change, they are your independent, while the last variable there are your dependent variables. So you manipulate, you are going to manipulate your independent variable to be able to achieve what you need to achieve on your dependent variable, because whatever happened over there is the end result that will actually tell on that last variable, which is the key word or the person you are even researching on. So in between them, so I can say a brief definition that independent variable is the variable that is being manipulated or controlled by the researcher. It is presumed cause or predictor in the study. Changes in that independent variables are hypothesized to cause changes. And let me also tell them that if you get these variables very well, your research question must come from those variables you have. Because the moment you neglect any variable, that research is not complete. And that means that you didn't follow standard. And that research can never be called a high impact research. It can be a good quality research, because you cannot measure independent variable and leave your dependent variable and achieve a better result. You have to redo the research. So they must carry all the variables in that topic along and take them seriously, because that is their life wire, and that is really the backbone of that their research, because they are going to test hypothesis on those variables. So let me just stop here so that other people can make their own contribution. But I know those variables are something that make research a very good quality research, and you shouldn't play with them in any way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is something I have friends, I know people who are here right now who have asked me these questions, and I thank you so much that you've been able to describe what this really means in research. So I don't know, Dr. Gani, if you can unmute your mic and let's hear your perspective of what you think the role variables plays in every research topic, and so that those who are into research for the first time probably would understand the difference between these two variables. Unmute your mic. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about variables. Just like the first speaker spoke, Dr. Kudirat, I'm very
Hello, Ma, your mic is mute again. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Okay, hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Remember that in this workshop, we are focused on having a thorough, accurate, and original research. That is our focus, to ensure that any
Mm,
research you are making, that research is thorough, that research is
mm,
original, and that research has to meet the standard. So when we are talking about scientific standard, the first thing we have to consider in our topic is the dependent and the independent variables. These variables are very important because once you miss out your variables, you will not be able to understand what you are doing, and your research will not have a basis. Like, for example, if you are talking about a variable, if you identify your dependent variable stands alone. Your dependent variable stands alone. I want to explain that. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Your dependent, sorry about that, please. Your dependent variable stands alone. You don't mix it up with other variables. It stands alone and you do not touch it. Why, when you talk about your dependent variables, your independent variables now comes up with other things that has to be discussed under it. For example, if you are talking about an independent variable, you talk about, for example, say, users' experience of a website. So when you are talking about user experience of a website, you have to talk about maybe the website interface. You have to talk about user centricity. You have to talk about the requirements to use the website. You have to talk about maybe the security of a website. Or maybe you talk about the availability of artificial intelligence on the website. So all these ones are under user experience, which means that these are places, these are teams where you can actually bring out your questions from. But if you do not have all these other smaller parts from a particular variable, then you will not be able to raise your questions, you will not be able to raise your objective, you will not be able to raise your research question, because your dependent and your independent variables are the important aspect that enables a researcher to even start by making your introduction, by bringing out your general objective and specific objective, and also raising your research question. So you make sure that you don't miss out. You make sure that your independent and dependent and your dependent and independent variables are spelled out. Your dependent variable stands alone on its own, while your independent variables have other smaller things that can be used to raise questions, because anything that occurs on your in each of these independent variables can now if affect the dependent variables. So we need to actually understand their workabilities. So this is what I have to explain about knowing your dependent and your independent variables, because if you do not have that, your research cannot be thorough, your research cannot be original, and then you just mix up things as you are going on. So you need to understand this from day one in your topic. Thank you.
exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I know that there are over 50 persons live right now participating in this workshop. It would be nice if we get your feedback on the comment section. Let us know if you are drawing value from this workshop. And if you have questions, please just drop it in the comment section. Our duty today is to attend to frequently asked research questions. And the next question now is going to Dr. Moradion. It's a very strong question. It's a very strong question, Dr. Moradion, because as a librarian, we deal with people who need access to information. We don't care, be you a doctor, be you a lawyer, be you whatever discipline you come from. We receive different people in the library and we attend to their requests. Some of them are PhD students, some of them are MSc students, some of them are undergraduate students, and sometimes they approach you. So, as a librarian, Dr. Morodon, if a student approaches you and says, I need a researchable topic, I don't know, this must be the most asked question in research. You just, I can't even talk about how many of these questions I receive at least in a month, so that I don't exaggerate. People want to know, how can I get a, even today as I'm speaking with you, I've gotten people who have asked me, no, one person particularly has asked me, I need research topics for my PhD. So, Dr. Moradon, how do you respond to such questions? What advice do you offer? Specifically, what practical strategies can researchers employ to identify meaningful and relevant topics or questions to investigate when initiating a research project or dissertation? Over to you, Dr. Moradon.
Thank you so much, Sylvester. You really said this is a difficult question. Well, that's I think basically most times that's actually the first stage in the research process where researchers, students, whether undergraduate or graduate students, where they want to get a topic. And oftentimes that's where some students actually miss it and the research becomes even more complicated for them. So the first thing I always tell users when they come, when they approach me is I ask them, you want a research topic, what area are you interested in researching on? So that's the first thing, the interest. That's one thing I frequently ask them. And that's actually where it starts from because research itself is problematic. You are trying to solve a problem. So you need something like somewhat a motivation that's going to take you through. So it is that interest that will sustain you even in the process. So what area are you interested in working with? So that's a common part of the response I give. Then beyond that, maybe the user or the student, whether in the natural sciences or in the behavioral sciences or in library information science, would say probably, okay, I'm interested in emerging technologies. Okay, now as a student who is interested in researching on emerging technologies, so how do we take it from there? It's not just enough to say I'm interested in emerging technology. We have to coin out that technology, a topic from that. So we cannot take it further by interrogating the students. What aspects of emerging technology are you interested in? So let's say in recent time, I think we had COVID-19, and there were a lot of discussions around e-learning technologies because many institutions were not able to meet up in that regard, especially from these parts of the world. And so the students have been able to identify from that conversation that, okay, he's interested in researching on something, the use of e-learning technologies. So that becomes, we are gradually getting there. So we've been able to probably identify a problem, the use of e-learning technology as a kind of the problem. So because apart from the area of interest, the user has to be able to identify a given problem. What problem is he or she looking forward to solve? Because research is about solving a problem, improving, closing a gap, improving existing phenomenon or situation. So there has to be a motivation behind that. So having understood that, okay, you are looking at how you can you want to study the use of e-learning technology, then you now look at what factors are you going to work with, because use of e-learning technology is not just enough. I mean, for a PhD work, for example, or a master student's work. So what are those things that affect e-learning technology that you think you want to examine? Then you cannot bring us back to, okay, those some of the things that you think are affecting it. You cannot look at possible the readiness of both the students and the faculty members to use these technologies for lecturing, because that's part of the things that oftentimes we'll see in basically the people being ready to use the technology. So that now becomes a variable you can pick. So you cannot coin it with your expertise and say, okay, technological readiness as it affects the use of e-learning technology. So we already have something that is researchable. So if we want to add other factors to it, we can look at what other possible factors do you think is affecting it? Because we don't know. That's why we want to conduct research. If we knew, we won't be conducting research. So we cannot look at possible, maybe computer self-efficacy, for example. So then we have been able to identify technological readiness and computer self-efficacy as factors affecting the use of e-learning technologies among mass communication students in Nigeria. So that's alone now brings out a new topic from nowhere. So it's not something that you have to go and start looking for topics to copy. Yes, you can browse through repositories to get ideas about current issues, areas you can work on, but it's not something you have to go and copy, because oftentimes when students bring projects, bring topic, you start seeing the regular, especially in our feed, for example, you start seeing information needs and seeking behavior, you start seeing impact of ICT. Those are not researchable. Like the way the facilitators, Dr. Gani and Dr. Adegoke had explained variables, your topic has to, the variables should also reflect in your topic. So having a researchable topic, from the example we just gave, we have been able to see that, okay, technological readiness and computer self-efficacy as factors affecting the use of e-learning technologies among mass communication students in Nigeria, or among mass communication students in Nigeria. So with that understanding, you can now get a clean topic. So the advice I would always render is have discussion, interact with your supervisors, have engagement with your supervisors or other faculty members who you know are knowledgeable about research, so they can advise you, they can discuss with you about how you can go about the topic through interrogation, discuss with colleagues, bounce off ideas off each other. So when you discuss with colleagues, you can actually get more insights, because as you are discussing, more revelations are coming. So we'll now better have a topic that is researchable. Then in addition to that, you can also review literature, because it is through literature review that you can be able to identify the gaps that exist, and what you want to fill. So these are some of the things, some of the advice we can give to students, whether graduate students or undergraduate students, or researchers generally who are looking for topic. So you look at area of interest, you discuss with your supervisors and your librarian, of course, and other persons who you think are knowledgeable, review literature. So by so doing, you now come up with a topic that can be refined. And mind you, you may not get it, you may not get the perfect topic at the first instance. So with consistent review of literature, as you proceed, you may see the need to refine the topic further. So that's how research topic is when it comes to research. So it's a continuous process, and we learn by so doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I have one question here. So since it's just coming in line with what you are saying, I think you should just respond to it. Dr. Tom Oyelude says, how does one define what to research? Because your points were really great, but I know there are still some people, despite what you have explained today, they will still come back to you to ask you, I need project topic. Okay, so I don't know, maybe if you answer this one, I'm hoping that people like that will learn more. So how does one define what to research into, apart from the areas you've suggested already? Interest, you talked about interest, you talked about discussing with the supervisor, you also talked about reviewing literature. So Doc is asking, how does one define what to research into?
Yes. So so in addition to the explanation earlier, for you to probably define what to research into, you look at what issues are there, that you want to solve first of all. Then from there, you start to refine a topic from there. Then also there are trending issues. Like currently now, the discussion around the world is about AI. So as a librarian, as a business administrator, as whatever field you are, AI currently cuts across different domains. So you can actually look at topics that relate with AI as it concerns your field. I'm an information professional, for example, and I can look at, for example, how AI is changing the landscape of information retrieval. So that's something that will be interesting in this dispensation. So having looked at that, then I can now start looking at how I can refine it further. And that also goes to where we're talking about how we can use AI tools to improve our research. We're talking about how we can get ideas using these AI tools, like generative AIs like ChatGPT, Gemini, and the rest. So we can actually get some ideas from there. When we have a team, like I just said now, the changing landscape of information retrieval, AI and the changing landscape of information retrieval. So we can now give commands and things like that. So we can get more ideas that will help us refine our scope, our research topics, and stuff like that. So that's it. We'll get more understanding as we proceed in the workshop in the next 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That has done justice to this question. So, but very quickly, I'm going to bring Dr. Kudirat. We are going to use just 1 minute each. somebody has asked a question that in your explanation of what variables are, that you use two variables, right? So what of works where you have multiple variables? And that person is Gloria Chidima. She wants to know, how do you go about such works? So the question is on the screen. It's been an insightful session, but can the speakers also talk about dealing with three or more variables? How do you deal with
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, thank you very much. From that
In
topic,
1 minute.
yeah, from that topic, you will see the first, second, and then maybe let's say you have multiple, some do have three variables that are independent variables. And some at times may decide to go with two dependent variables. It all depends on the area you are interested in and what you are actually looking for. Everything has to do with the design of that your research topic. The research itself, being a systematic process, you have something you want to find out, and only one variable cannot cover it. So it is allowed. It is now left for you to now be able to design your questions in line with those variables for you to be able to carry every variable in your topic along. And as you know, by the time you say assessment, evaluation of something, 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 on the moment you leave that on, whatever lasts are your dependent variables that you should not
Dependent
even
variables.
play with. Yes, the moment you are trying to
Exactly.
test the viability or the effect of this, causes of this to this, and maybe effect of this on this, that on this, it is at the other end, and that is your dependent variable. So you should strike balance between them, keep them aside while you manipulate the first one, two, or three to have effect or a change on the last two
The
or last
dependent
one.
variable.
That is your
Exactly.
dependent variable. The moment you are
Wow.
trying to look at what
That's a
this has done
beautiful way.
over this one, so that is where you'll be able to differentiate between what is dependent and what is independent. So effect of A on B, that your B is dependent variable, while A is your independent variable. So when you say AB, effects of AB on C and D, your C and D are your dependent variables. Those at the other end, you keep them aside while you begin to manipulate this one to see how their changes are affecting these two last one. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I see a comment from Gloria now. She's on the screen. She's appreciating you because I feel your response has actually dealt with that answer. Even me, I couldn't have explained it any better. You are a great teacher. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So that was wonderful. Okay, so next question will also go to Dr. Morodion. And the question is this. We are gradually going into the AI now that we'll be treating tomorrow. Tomorrow is strictly practical, no grammar, no talking. It's not a panel. Today is just to open our minds into what we are going into. Tomorrow, all this, we are just trying to have a conversation. So tomorrow, we're going to be treating these issues practically. But the question before Dr. Morodion is there a right or wrong way to use AI tools, for instance, like the generative one you've been talking about, ChatGPT? Is there a right or wrong way to use these AI tools? I don't know. I have a video here I would like to play, but maybe we'll play it later. But first of all, let's just hear from you on this.
Okay, thank you. Like I was explaining earlier, to better explain this, answer this question, it is important we have understanding of, it is better we have understanding of the limitations of the AI technologies we are talking about, because you have to know what limitations these tools have in order for you to know whether that you can use it correctly or responsibly for your research. And with most large language models like ChatGPT, these technologies are trained using a range of data sets, and the feedback you're going to get is from what they analyze from that data set. So that tells us, for instance, that it has its own limitations. So, and we have to understand that. And also, we have to understand that there are certain things we can't just do without putting consideration the ethical practices of research. What are the ethical practices that governs research. So having that in mind, that will guide us to now know what we can do with AI and what we cannot do with AI. For example, as a researcher, you are writing, you have a research to write. You can't just put your topic under in ChatGPT and say, please help me write the introduction of this topic. Of course, ChatGPT can help you write it, but that would be unethical and it will be considered scholarly misconduct, especially given the fact that what these technologies will do, they will go and fetch out the data from different scholarly works there. And what that means is that it can lead to inadvertent plagiarism, because oftentimes the content that this AI technology use, they are not their own original content. They fetch it from different sources. And one thing that is common with that we have seen over time with AI is that some of the citations they give are actually inaccurate. So the implication of this is that it can actually amplify misinformation if not used correctly. So these are some of the wrong ways we can use AI that can affect research and consequently cause a whole lot of trouble for the researcher, especially now that many publishing body have not yet recognized ChatGPT as an author. So even when you use ChatGPT, for example, or other generative AIs, you can't actually ascribe authorship to them that, oh, you use them for that content, because they cannot take responsibility. For research is all about responsibility. Authorship is all about responsibility. The author has to be able to take responsibility for the accuracy or otherwise of the research that is being conducted. So a part of the wrong way to use it is telling AI to probably generate this content for you, when you can actually bring in your own human creativity. Then another thing I want to quickly mention here is that sometimes people may be guilty of this and say, oh, this should be allowed. Writing your own phrase in your own way, as in you've actually written it, then you now copy the phrase, the whole paragraph or the whole passage, and paste it in ChatGPT and say, please help me rewrite this. If you do this, the content that is being generated will still be perceived as AI generated content. Yes, it will still be generated. It will still be perceived as AI generated content. And mind you, there are already several technologies, AI detection technologies are already out there that they can use to detect AI generated content. Example being the Turnitin AI detector and GPT-0, among others. So, and I think that's part of the video Sylvester is going to show us how we can actually how Turnitin actually can detect AI written content. Just as you can use Turnitin to check for similarity index for a written work, it can also show you the percentage of AI content that is in that work. So it's that serious. And mind you, when you are submitting your work in many of these publishers for publication, they now have questions that they ask whether you use AI or any large language models in the process of this work.
Exactly.
And of course, you have to be transparent, because research is all about transparency. You have to tell us what you use the AI tool for and stuff like that. So some of these things can be very, very complicated and can cause a lot of problem. Now, this is not to scare you, because AI is actually a good tool. It's something that we almost cannot do without in this dispensation, and it's also still evolving. So there are newer knowledge that will still come into play. So, but we can be very creative in our use of AI. Like I mentioned earlier, instead of telling AI to rewrite your work, why not rewrite it? Why not write it yourself and probably tell AI to punctuate it accurately? Now you want to go about your research, You don't know where to start from. Why not tell AI, for example, give me ideas of researchable topics in this era, in this area and stuff like that. So it can give you ideas, it can give you a starting point. Then also you want to, maybe you have already written your work, because of review here and there, you have the need to add more references. Of course, there are digital tools you can use like Mendeley in your research process, but when you're not doing review and you have the need to add one or two references, sometimes it can be very tiring when you have to convert your references to the style that is being adopted by either the institution or the journal. So, but with AI, you can actually just copy the references and paste on AI and tell it, please help me format this reference list into APA 7th edition, and it does it, and that will make the work even easier and stuff like that. So, but we have to know that policies are changing, and in the next few months, it's still going to change. Newer policies are going to come up, as we talk about AI and how it is being used in scholarly research.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm not going to emphasize those points you've made. I know everyone participating right now, they are drawing value. It's just that I'm not seeing their comments. We still have over about 50% watching right now. It will be good to know that you are giving us feedback in the comment section, and to encourage our speakers to keep giving us more useful tips. So very quickly, Dr. Morojon, I would like to have an idea briefly in 1 minute. Can you give us an idea the potential implication of AI and digital tools in the future of academic research and publishing? Now, with everything you have said, the importance of AI in research, and the shortcomings, also the effects, the negative effect it can have on you. In the future, what implications do you foresee, especially in this part of the world? And how can researchers adapt to these changes effectively?
Okay, just to start point, we said AI is still transforming, and it's likely going to change different aspects of likely going to have great impacts into different aspects of scholarly publishing and scholarly research. And part of the things we will see, for example, we can start seeing a future where analyzing data becomes even easier than it was before, because with AI that can do many things, we can see how people can impute data into a particular AI technology, and it helps you to analyze the result very well. But that will be after other issues regarding the ethical concerns are addressed. Then we can look at also publishing models. Newer publishing models are being developed as a result of digital technologies here and there. And we now have different open access platforms that are coming up as part of ways that researchers can publish their outputs. So you have preprint servers, for example. You don't necessarily have to publish all your outputs in a peer review system. So there are different models, different publishing models coming out as a result of development in digital technologies and so on. So all this will have great impacts in scholarly publishing and scholarly research in the nearest future.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so don't worry, I'll come back to ask you this question later. Let me just play this video. For people, there are some people who, I know, I think in one of my sensitization, I said it, I've seen people who will write an entire research work from beginning using AI and Quillbot. It's just to go to ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, okay, write a background of the study for this topic. ChatGPT writes the background. They copy, paste in Quillbot. Quillbot rephrases it, and then they put in Microsoft Word, and they assume that they beat plagiarism. And they go to some plagiarism checkers. You mentioned one, GPT-0. I have personally actually taught this process last year. And this year, that's why those who have attended my workshops before, they are in this workshop too, to learn latest information. The way these technologies were last year are not the same way they are right now.
They are transforming.
Now, exactly. There were actually some of these AI detectors that can actually detect AI written content. But as at right now, they can no longer do that because of the different advancements at different levels. So, for instance, Turnitin AI detector, they just really introduced that AI feature into Turnitin. Exactly. So, and let me just show a video. Let us just see so that we know, so that don't get confused when you feel that you copy from one AI, generative AI, and you just put in one place and rephrase. Don't think that will solve this issue. Okay. So just check out this video.
Hello. Today we'll discuss Turnitin's new AI writing detection feature available to instructors and administrators in their Turnitin accounts. So to begin, follow the normal process for setting up assignments and having students make submissions. Note, only submissions made after the 4th of April 2023 will be checked for AI writing detection. So if you want to check a submission made in the past, you will need to resubmit it. The AI indicator will appear as part of the similarity report, but will only be visible to you as an instructor or administrator. Your students will not be able to see it, but it is recommended to let your students know that AI writing detection exists. After the similarity report has been generated for the submission, open it and you will see the blue AI indicator in the side panel. The number here represents an overall percentage of the document that we estimate was generated by AI writing tools, such as ChatGPT. To see the full AI report, click the AI indicator button. The report highlights the text segments of the assignment that our model predicts was written by AI. Similar to the similarity score, it'll be important for the educator to review the highlighted text and decide what is acceptable for the assignment. The report also features a number of resources, including information on how Turnitin's AI writing detection works, and selected pedagogical resources that may be helpful for you when addressing AI writing with your students.
So thank you very much, Dr. Ogumodiran, for pointing us to that video. And as we can see, this is proof that AI can actually be detected, especially in some institutions that they don't play with plagiarism. So let's be very careful and take responsible responsible use of these AI tools seriously. But my question now, Dr. Morodion, is I know you have a comment to make on this, possibly a demonstration of how this works. But while you are doing that, I would like you to also let us know, how can researchers ensure validity and reliability of their research findings? Now, especially when they have used these AI tools, maybe not ethically, how can they ensure validity, reliability of their research finding? So, like I mentioned there, I say possibly give us a clue on very effective strategies to maintain integrity and trustworthiness in our research outcomes. Or are you not aware that some people, they just write research, they don't distribute questionnaire, and they just formulate things? All these are part of what we call responsible research. So I don't know if you could speak to this briefly. I know we're going to be doing justice to all this tomorrow. So over to you, please.
Okay. So that is the validity and sorry, the question. Can you see on the
integrity
screen?
Possibly give us a clue? Okay. Okay, it's not on the screen. Let me try to put it out there. We just want to know about integrity, trustworthiness, how researchers can actually apply this in their research.
Okay, that so to ensure validity
Yeah.
and reliability of research, we look at one key thing we must ensure is transparency. In research, you have to be transparent. And transparent about what? You have to be transparent about how the study was conducted, the methodology behind the study. So if you are telling us that you conducted a study about students, how did you do it? What research design did you adopt? What instrument did you use? Were the instruments self-developed, or did you adopt a standard scale, or you adapted the standard scale? So these are things you must look out when you are conducting a study. And mind you, like I said, emphasis is not always about the outcome of the research. Emphasis is also on the process. So how was this research conducted? That will determine whether or not we'll accept the results that are being given. You understand? And that's one common problem we've been having in Africa, because sometimes when you do not trust, you're unable to explain how the research is carried out, then we cannot accept the findings. So these are some of the things. So you must be transparent, and you must be able to express clearly the methods behind the research. Did you adopt a design that is appropriate to your study based on the identified research questions and the hypotheses and the objective that you have identified? So those, they have to be at par. Then you have to also look at how did you arrive at your sample? Because these little things have the potential to skew the result. It has the potential to change the result. So let's assume you do not follow, your method of sampling is not accurate. It can affect the outcome. It may affect the level of precision of the result, and it may affect the ability to generalize a kind of a findings. So those are things that are being looked at. Then if you're talking about your instrument that you use is a very key thing. Did you employ a self-developed instrument? If it was self-developed, was the instrument um, uh, um, subjected to validity check and reliability check. So these are things you look at. So, and if you're conducting a research, I would like to advise that if there are, because we talked about, you have a research topic and you have variables. If there are standard scales already that have already been tested, then it will be easier for you to just adapt that scales if it aligns with your work, instead of even just going on to develop a new instrument, which sometimes may not even undergo reliability test and validity. So those are some of the things, because your instruments that you use can introduce some level of bias, especially in the way it is structured. A common bias we see in many studies, especially from the behavioral sciences, including some library information science research, is social desirability bias, where students oftentimes they just they respond to questions because they want to feel along, not because they were actually tested. So your instrument goes a long way to tell you how the study, to tell you the kind of findings you should expect and whether the findings should be accepted or not. So the whole process of research has to be factored in and so on. So you look at the transparency, you have to be transparent, employ a methodology that is acceptable with backings and stuff like that. So that way you can, to a long extent, enhance the validity and the reliability of your research finding. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And there's something you mentioned that reminded me about methods in research and how it describes transparency, because I was speaking to one supervisor, one scholar, and he said the way to describe methodology, it's as simple as, even in your literature review, you should be able to describe where did you get your materials from, the method you use in the research from beginning. Like, okay, you're saying that I use Google Scholar, I use the library database to get this information, and then due to limitation of the information in the library databases, I went to I had to do a one-on-one interview. Given as simple as this grammar that I'm speaking is, not BB grammar at all, the person said, this is what methodology still is all about. You have to be transparent on how you got your information, not just jumping into ChatGPT and typing, give me this, and it gives you everything, and you copy. You don't know where that thing has gotten those information from, and then you drop it. So I just hope we are all getting value
Yes,
for our time.
and Steve, let me also add to that. Based on what you just said, I just remembered now. Now, you know, like there are certain studies you are conducting, like systematic literature review, for example. Let's say you are conducting a systematic literature review. You have to explain all the process. Now, there is a model, the Prisma model, which explains the step-by-step in a systematic literature review. Now, when you are talking about your how did you get the literature that you are using? So you have to explain, for example, you have to be clear the databases you use and what were the search terms. So those things have to be explicitly written in your report. So what were the search terms that you use, or the keywords that you used, and what kind of results, how many results came out, how did you narrow down your results, what did you eliminate, and stuff like that. So those are things that you have to be clear with. I remember a study we did some time back, and they told us that we were not clear enough with how the research was conducted, because you know you have to explain your everything that has to do with your study, how you conducted it, even in the area of data collection. Did you employ Google Forms to use it? Did you convert your questionnaire to Google Form, or did you go and administer the paper to them and everything? So everything has to be well explicit in your reports and things like that. So people can get clearer picture, because research is about reproducibility. So you have to be able to explain how it was carried out, so that other researchers can look at it and see how they can reproduce such research and possibly come up with same findings and stuff like that. So thank you
so much. Thank you so much. I'm seeing a lot of comments from Olajide, from Deyeye Diola. Everybody saying thank you here. Everybody saying thank you. Baba Foreign is saying thank you. A lot of people here are saying thank you. Now, guess what, everyone? I have something very special for everybody that is participating here right now. And I didn't plan to do this. But because it's in my nature, those who have attended my workshops before, they know that I never attend a workshop without doing practical. I never organize any workshop without doing practical. So, and in my usual nature, I always come up with something that I wouldn't say new. Nothing is new. Something that's valuable. Let me use that word. So, I'm going to reveal to you an AI tool today. Practically, in less than 5 minutes here. That's how vast I am with using these AI tools. So, I'm going to show you quickly how to use AI tool to in less than seconds, because the problem that I want to solve for you today is some of us, we don't know how to do proper referencing. You want to reference using APA style, and you have the work that you use from the online source, but you don't know what to come first: the author name, the year, the title, and every other bibliographic information. So I'm going to show you a tool that in less than 2 minutes you can just do that so quickly. I'm going to be showing you that too. My question now is, would you like me to show you this? Let me see your comments. If you are interested in knowing this, just type responsible use, just type responsible AI in the comment section. I want to see your comments. Type responsible AI, responsible AI. If you type that, then I'll know you would like me to do that demonstration. It's a practical. Then we will not come back to the questions. I want to see your comments. Responsible AI, responsible AI. I'm not seeing anybody, meaning that you don't want me to do that. Okay, let's go back to the questions. They are not ready yet. So let me go back to the question. I'm going to Dr. Gani. Until I see your comments, then we'll get back to this. Let's come to Dr. Gani. I have a question for you while I'm waiting for their comments.
Okay.
Dr. Gani, are you here?
I'm here, sir.
Very good. Thank you so much, Ma, for being here.
Yeah.
You know, you know that research actually varies, right? And there are researchers. There are different types of researchers from different disciplines that are participating in this workshop. So my question right now is, when you are selecting a research method, there are different types of methods. When you are choosing a particular method, what are the factors that you should consider? Maybe I should post it here. Let me post it here for us to see. Okay, it should be on the screen. What are the factors? I can see you.
Okay.
Yes, I can see you, ma. So, okay, so my question is, what are the factors to consider when you are actually going about your research method, selecting a research methodology? What factors should researchers consider to ensure it aligns with the objectives, with the research questions, and the scope of their study? Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you once more for the opportunity. In conducting research, it is important that we get it right, that we do not start research with a topic. What we do is that we first of all identify a problem. I know that the first speaker spoke about it, that you need to solve a societal problem, and then you need to identify that problem. That's the first thing. When you identify a problem, you'll be able to fish out your dependent and your independent variables. And then you'll be able to come up with a topic. So by you going straight into a topic without having identified a problem is where some of us make the mistake. Then by the time you're able to identify a problem, you can now go down for your literature review, which enables you to identify your variables. Those variables you identify when you are trying to bring out your problem are the variables you use in writing out your literature review. Then from your literature review, you can go ahead to create hypotheses, which depends on the kind of the research you are carrying on, because we'll go back to that. Then you go to your research design, then you go to your population, then you go to data collection and analysis, and then you go down to writing. So it is always important for you to identify a problem that you are really, really interested in, especially how the first and the second speakers have spoken about it. Then now, the main thing we are talking about research. Research varies. There are different types of researchers and there are different disciplines. We have the natural research, which is more scientific in nature. We all know it. then such as like mathematics, physics, and all this. Then we have social science, and which we know library science is part of it. We know of humanities when you study human behaviors and so on and so forth. Then we have engineering and technology. These AIs, they are more in this category. Then we have the medical and the health sciences. We also have applied sciences, we have arts, we have a lot of disciplines that are mixing up to come up with different kinds of research. We also have education, business, and management. All these are the different research areas or different disciplines that are existing, and more are coming up because the world keeps bringing in more and more information. Um, I think this area is not.
We are with you, ma. Hello, are you still there? Your mic is mute. Your mic is mute now, ma.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, so I just listed
Yes.
out
Yeah.
the different
So just
disciplines that
to put a
then,
okay.
and then the next thing now would look at research. We are talking about method. We need to understand the difference between method and methodology. When you talk about research methodology, it's talking about the systematic approach, the techniques, the procedures, the principles that Dr. Kudirat has listed out that you follow in order to conduct your research. It has to be systematic because it is arranged logically, and you get to a conclusion where you bring out something new. You fill a gap and you preempt, a way that other people would like to make further research on that. So when you talk about method, in this technique, method is a technique, a specific technique or a specific procedure that a particular researcher wants to use in a certain discipline, because the research that you do in art is different from that of engineering or that of medicals. So methods is to give you a technique or a procedure that a researcher will follow in order to carry out a research that is genuine, that is original, and is testable. Then, when we are talking about methodology, methodology is not talking about a framework, an approach that a researcher will follow. It has to do with principles, concepts, theories, strategies that a researcher must follow. So sometimes when you don't understand the principles in conducting a research, you will see that the research is very, very difficult. The principle is that A, you should do this. B, you should do that. It is important that you follow those guidelines and principles based on the community of scholars. Because I've just listed out some community of scholars, arts, humanities, different disciplines. So you cannot start work from humanities and you expect that work to be accepted in medical sciences, except it is an interdisciplinary investigation that you are carrying out. That means that someone in social science, someone in art, someone in medicals, they can just come up as one to conduct a research. Then you need to understand your
Thank you.
concept. What concept am I
Yeah.
using? Do not carry a concept that does not align. If I'm talking about financial transaction, I should talk about banking. I should talk about money. I should know that I'm talking about financial transaction. Then I'll go to psychology. Maybe somebody is running mad because they don't have money. No, you don't mix up concepts to make sure that you get the right concept when you are conducting your research. Then in methodology, you also talk about theories. What theories do you adopt? There are different categories of theories. You have foundational theories, you have medieval theories, you have contemporary theories. So you have to make
Yeah.
sure that in conducting your research, you pick up a theory that matches that area in which you are conducting that research. You don't go and carry a foundational theory and you are talking about AIs now. You have to look for a contemporary theory that will match up what you are talking about. So it is very important because most times I look at student projects, they are talking about current development, and then they go and pick a foundational theory where they do not understand the theory very well. it is important that you understand the theory, you understand the principles of the theory, you understand the consequences of the theory, you understand the application of the theory. If you do not
Exactly.
understand,
Yeah.
do not adopt it into your research. That is very important.
Yes.
Then there's a key
Thank you
point
so
we
much.
talked about. We said, what are the main components in conducting research? One thing is your research design. Your research design is a plan, is an outline. Before you start your research, you have to make a plan. You have to bring out your outline. What do I want to do? What kind of type of research do I want to carry out? Is it experimental research? Okay, I'm doing an experiment. Okay, then I know that I will be in the lab. I will test this. Am I making an observation? I need to see how this thing works. Am I doing a qualitative research where I will have to talk to people? I have to get information from people. I dialogue with them. Is it a quantitative research, which means it is testable? I'm going to use some numbers and carry out some statistical data. So all these are some of the things you consider. Then in collecting your data, it is important that you do it objectively. Objectively. That is why sometimes some people will say, I'm not going to do qualitative research because it is not objective. It is not objective because I will have to interview my people. I will have to talk to the respondents, and then maybe I will influence the thinking of the respondent. While some people will say, I'm going out for I'm going to conduct my research objectively, which is quantitatively, and then I'll just send out my questionnaire. I expect my respondents to fill my questionnaire and send back to me. So you have to know the
Okay.
data collection method you intend to use. Then you also look at
All right.
the
Okay.
technique. What is the
Yes,
population
ma.
of your
Hello, ma. Hello, ma.
area?
Hello, ma. Pardon
Yes,
me. I need to interrupt you here.
yeah.
Hello, ma. You there? Can you
I'm
hear me, ma?
listening. Yes.
All right, pardon me. I had to interrupt you there because today was just to give an overview, and tomorrow we dive into the practicals.
Okay,
And you
but
wanted to give it all.
this is just an overview, but tomorrow we'll go
Yeah,
into the
and
practical.
we are running out. Yes, we are running out of
Okay,
time.
okay, let me just
Each of
conclude by saying, let me just conclude this aspect by saying that you cannot carry out a research successfully without understanding the principle, without understanding the guidelines of carrying out a particular research you want to do. You have to know your objective, your general and specific objective. You have to be, you have to be focused. You have to know your scope, your time scope, your thematic scope, your theoretical scope, and so on and so forth. This is very important. And I don't know, we need to talk about philosophy in research. Some people carry out
Yeah, we'll
research
talk
without
about
knowing
philosophy another day, doc.
yes, without knowing the research philosophy they intend to adopt.
Yeah,
So when you are carrying out
yeah,
your research, you understand your philosophy. So for all our viewers that are here, I will encourage you to join us tomorrow so that we can discuss more about the philosophy, the ontological perspective, the epistemological
yeah.
perspective, and even the axiology in carrying out your research
All
so that
right,
your research will be
all right.
successful. I think we have talked
Thank
about
you.
ethical consideration and validity and
Yeah, we're
reliability.
doing that on Sunday. Thank you so
Ah,
much. Thank you so much. Now,
okay,
I've been seeing their comments, man. That's why I needed to interrupt you. I see a lot of persons are
okay.
interested now in the practical. I'm seeing Dr. Toon has typed responsible AI. Jessica says responsible AI. Debbie says responsible AI. Patricia, Solomon, Dr. Ekolo, Badamosi, Suleiman, Etuk. See all of you. I'm giving you a special shout out over here, Dr. Aisha Askira. Thank you all for being here. So before we are going to go into that demonstration now, it's my usual character. I must give you something valuable, a freebie for each session. Even though this is a free event, I must do this so that you get value. So having said that, you see, Dr. Gani, she wanted to give all herself out to you. Now, she is going to be coordinating. She's going to be coordinating the research teams. For those of you who have paid for this workshop, and we are going to continue tomorrow and next, She's going to be coordinating the teams where we have different people, because our goal includes you coming up with a research paper at the end of the day. We don't just want to organize a workshop. We are going to motivate you, provide some information for you, places where you can publish, how you can publish, and we're going to be teaching you all that in this workshop. This is not the ordinary workshop, and that's why you noticed we are using 2 hours, and we are not spending more than that 2 hours. That's just everything is properly timed. So very quickly, I'm going to take a short break to now show you the demonstration. Now, in the short break, let me introduce to you these people. So Bilamin is one of our guests. We'll be having him on Sunday. Also, we have Oluwatosin, a dynamic librarian. We are having him tomorrow. So, yes, great. So the bottom line is, let us know where to register for this workshop. So, and I want to show you I want to share my screen now to show you what I said I was going to do, the practical. I know that's what some of us are here for. Let me share my screen. Okay, before I share my screen, I'm noticing some of us have not clicked on the like button on this video. If you are watching on Facebook, you are watching on YouTube, please, I forgot to say that. Please click on the like button. Click on the like button. Click on the share button if you want people to see this video. And there's a subscribe button under this video you are watching now. Please help us. Click on the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel. Please, that's how we grow, okay? Please click on the like and share this video and click on the subscribe button. So let me get back to sharing my screen with you. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now, sharing my window, and I'm going to be sharing my Chrome tab. Sharing my Chrome tab. This is what I'll be sharing. All right. So I'm sharing my Chrome tab now. So good. So if any one of you has a pen right there, all I want you to do is you can go to Google and type BIB Guru. Just type BIB Guru in Google, Bib Guru, and then you will see the website. The website the AI tool we want to use is called Bib Guru. So I'm going to copy the website address here, or let me just click on it and say open a new tab. Bib Guru. Can you see my screen? Can you see Bib Guru? Hello? Oh, I don't think they can see my screen.
We cannot see anything.
Okay, sorry, I was sharing the wrong screen. Let me reshare my screen, please.
Okay.
This will not take more than 3 minutes. I was sharing the wrong screen. Pardon me. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen again. So Bib Guru is open right here. And I'll just go to Bib Guru home. So what we can see here now is Bib Guru, www.bibguru.com. Okay, www.bibguru.com. So to make it more practical, I want to come to the chat session and ask a question. If you want me to reference your paper, just type the name of any of your paper so that I can get it online for you. Dr. Kudirat, are you here? Your mic is mute.
Yes, I'm around.
Okay, please, can you just mention the title of any of your paper that's available globally so that I can do the referencing for you?
Okay,
Title of your paper.
let's see IoT in academic libraries.
So let's say, so all you need to do is when you go to www.bibguru.com, you see a field where you have to paste your URL if you have the link to the website you want to cite, or if it's an article, you click on articles, and then you insert the DOI of that book, or you just insert the title and the author name. So I'm going to write the title and the author name. The title again, man, you said is what?
Hello, sorry.
Okay, don't worry. I will use my paper. Dr. Kudirat is
Use
busy.
one of your use your own.
Okay. So I'm just going to type. Let's type Koha. It's already there. One of my works on Koha integrated. See, you can see that it's popping out some works. Koha integrated library manager. Or let me just type Koha, then Admiralty University. Then I'll type Ewonu. I'll type and Ogbomo. These are the authors. So I'll click on search. It's telling me no results, probably because of the use of my grammar. So maybe I should properly put it. So I'll say, let me go to Google first of all and just copy the title. I think that's where the problem is coming from. Koha Admiralty University Ogbomo and Bono. So so here's the paper. The paper is here. So I'll just copy the title of the paper and the author, and then I come to BibGuru. All I need to do is under articles here, I just paste the author. So then I'll say Ogbomo. And then I'll search. So we can see that what is going on now is BibGuru is searching for that term I used. I don't know what's going on. Okay. This is not the correct search term. So let's check for something else. Pardon me. I don't know what's going on this evening. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Know what's going on. So let's assume, okay, this is the link to what?
Hello, sir.
You said what? Yes, you said?
I tried one of my papers too, and it didn't work.
Okay, it actually works. I think I don't know what's going on. Maybe
it's asking me to sign up. Or is it because I didn't sign up?
No, this is a free app. It's a free app. So another thing you can do is see now, let me just go to the work. This is my screen, the Koha work. So this is the link to that work. Let me copy and paste the link, and then I'll paste the link in BibGuru. So if I paste the link in BibGuru, watch what will happen. Can you see the work came out automatically? So I add it to my list of reference. So watch what will happen now. Can you see it just came up automatically? So that's it. So I think my use of my typing the title and the author name, as we see here, let me zoom into it. I think I wasn't typing the title, the author name, and or identifier properly, and that was the delay, because this wasn't supposed to be more than a 2-minute demonstration. Okay, so all you just need to do when you leave here, go and try your hands on it, get the link of the particular material you visited. For instance, let me get another link here is another link here. I'll copy this link. All I need to do is come here, I'll paste the link, and then I'll allow it to search. Can you see? Immediately I paste the link, it says it's already in my project because I've tried it before. So I'll say search, I'll show. So this work was written by Mrs. Omaji and I and some others. So you can see the work is reflected here. Omaji Ewonu and all that, changing nature of information technology. So this is the simple tip I wanted to give to you. So I'm coming back. I'll stop sharing my screen now. I want to know whether you actually got value from this demonstration that I did. So if you think you got value from this demonstration I did, please drop in the comment section and let me know whether you got value. Please drop in the comment section and let me know whether you got value for this demonstration. So then the last thing I would like to demonstrate for you is some persons don't know how to register for tomorrow's program. We are closing the registration portal this night by 12 midnight. If you want to register for this event, don't just attend this free event. You need to register to participate in tomorrow's event. Tomorrow's event is not for free. All you need to do is type www.thedigitallibrarian, thedigital-librarian.com/upcoming events. Immediately you type that in your browser, something pops up for you to actually fill a form. I hope we can see me. Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay, so this is what I was trying to describe. You go to the Digital Librarian /upcoming events, and then you will see what you are seeing right now, our upcoming event. If you scroll down so much, you will see other events that we have organized. And then, but the event that concerns you is this particular one on responsible use of AI. How would you register? You click on the register button and you see everything about this workshop, why you should register. And all you need to do is click on register now. Immediately you click on register now, enter your name, your phone number, and what's everything, your expectations, and then you pay the amounts you see here, 6,000, 9,000, and then you submit the form. That's all you need to do to register. So please, Christabel will drop the registration link now in the comment section. I would like for us to please register for this event before the portal closes this night. So with this, we have come to the end of today's workshop. But I'm going to come back to our guests now to give their final statements, their final words. We have one unexpected guest here, Biliamin. We are supposed to see him on Sunday, but he's here. So we are going to put everybody on the spotlight for us to see. So please turn on your video, Dr. Kudirat. We would like to take final words from you as we call it a night today. Final words from you as we call it a night. Other questions we would have loved to take, time will not permit us. So if anybody has questions, also please put it in the section for us to attend to them. So final words, I'm giving us 30 seconds each, starting with Dr. Moradion. Dr. Moradion.
Okay, I want to appreciate all the participants who have turned out for this workshop, and I want to encourage you. Research is an interesting exercise, and it's something that that you would love when you really create time for it. So don't be afraid to continue what you're already doing, or be better at research, and don't also be afraid or ashamed to reach out to mentors for mentorship. People are always willing to help, to support, and also we are also open for collaboration in the event that you would love to collaborate. So that's all I will have to say this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So over to you, Dr. Kudirat. 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, our moderator and then other members in the house. Participants, I really appreciate you, and I actually want you people to know that research is something that is broad. No matter how knowledgeable you are in the field of in research, you still learn one thing or the other from other people, because nobody is an island of knowledge. So I will want you to kindly register for the other days so that you can maximize the benefits you're going to get. And I assure you that with the people on board, the panelists you have, you'll learn a lot from all of us, because I have learned so many things from here today. And that is to tell you that learning is a continuous process, and we shouldn't undermine the rationale behind the workshop. So thank you all for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much.
You.
So, Dr. Gani, 30 seconds. It's almost 2 hours now. This is 150. We've spent 1 hour, 58 minutes. So, you are having 30 seconds quickly, please.
Okay, thank you, our moderator. Thank you, our viewers. Research is very interesting. Research is a skill. It's not something that you just wake up and acquire. It is a skill that you learn. It's a skill that you practice. And by the time you are done with that, you'll be on top of the world. And then the research is something you should share. If you have any idea you don't share, you will not be able to put it into practice. You'll not be able to perfect it. So it's a time now, it's an opportunity for us to acquire new skills, to share our knowledge, and have our quality research so that we can have good output and good visibility. Thank you, our organizers. I hope that tomorrow we'll have more persons in attendance. So go out and share the good news. Let people know about what is happening here. Thank you so much. I've also learned a lot. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. I want to just give a special shout out to some of my mentors and a lot of people I'm seeing here. I see Dr. Shegun Manuel. I saw Shegun Manuel here. Shegun Manuel, thank you so much for being here. I'm really happy to see you here, sir. Thank you so much. The National Library of Nigeria, FCT, is also represented here. Special thanks to the director and national librarian and her team. Thank you so much for being here. I see Olajide saying it's an impressive presentation. We have come to the end, so thank you so much. Dr. Ikolo, 100% value, she says. Thank you, Isioma. I'm glad you found this helpful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Oyelude. She says much ado about ChatGPT. Just be prepared for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the blast. Tomorrow we are not talking, no. Tomorrow we are demonstrating. Tomorrow is it's not a panel. Tomorrow is practical. Tomorrow is sharing of screen, not talku. So I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I can't wait. We need to preach this message of responsible use of AI. Thank you all so much. I'm really happy you all made it here. Share this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, wherever you're watching this video. Even after now that you leave this video, come back to the video and make a comment. Tell us what you think about what you learned today, and God will bless you for everything. I love you all. My name is Sylvester, the Digital Librarian, and do have a good night. Take note, tomorrow, those on the premium side, you can come live with us and ask us questions. That's one of the benefits of being in the premium. We will feature you live here to ask questions, not using the chat button. So for those of you who wants to talk on camera, show us yourself, you can join us in the video tomorrow. Yes, we are going to be featuring you if you're a premium member. All right. So thank you all so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you. So I beg to take my leave now, but before I do that, it's just to share some videos with you.
Invest in you. One of the things that is really important that changed my life is that if you're going to be successful in this world, in anything you do or in any business you do, you must invest in yourself first. Because invest in you. One of the things that is really important that changed my life is that if you're going to be successful in this world, in anything you do or in any business you do, you must invest in yourself first.